Hello everybody! Today I'm doing an unboxing and a mounting of the Hinomi H2 Pro. This is Stef from Samayas and welcome to my channel. So this video is sponsored by me, myself and I. So after my previous debacle and my previous video about the Habata X3, which I've sent back, I finally decided to buy a new chair, the Hinomi H2 Pro. The Hinomi chair is still quite expensive, but currently there are some promos going to 40% off compared to the Habata X3. However, it's a lot less expensive though. Even though the Hinomi H2 Pro is available through Amazon, this time I bought it directly, since the price was better and I still have 30 days to send it back if I'm not satisfied. So this chair has two versions. There's one chair with the footrest and there's another one without. I chose the one without the footrest, since personally I don't see the use of it. But hey, that's just me. Color-wise, this chair comes in 5 colors, from black to grey to white to green or even pink. Well, frankly, for me, grey or pink are way over it. I would have preferred to have a more white one, but the current white is more like creamy white and I didn't like it. And the black for me was just too black, so in the end I went for more the grey one, as you can see. Personally, a more softer white would have been a nicer idea. When choosing a new office chair, for me it is important that the wheelbase is in one piece. And according to the specs, it currently is. At some point I was also looking for a number of other models, like for instance the Muso. But there the wheelbase was clearly in multiple pieces and needed to be screwed together just as the Habata X3. Even though in the promotional videos the Habata X3 had the wheelbase in one piece. And in the end, if you have your wheelbase in multiple pieces, you end up with some crappy plastic on top of it. And I don't like it. Now I can understand that having a wheelbase in multiple pieces is a lot more easy for production and or shipping, but frankly, for a chair of this price, that's unacceptable. But that is just my point of view. A nice thing, which I liked, but only realizing when I bought it, is at the end of the wheelbase you have a little footrest, which you can put easily your foot on top. So Hinomi started to have its ads on Instagram also somewhere in August. However, if you wanted to purchase the H2 Pro, nothing was really available and the soonest available date was somewhere in the middle of October. And here we are. But maybe there was just the first batch which ran out because of their success. Shipping was quite fast. It took them roughly 4 days to ship it over. And here in Europe, it was shipped from Germany to the rest of Europe. As you'll see in the rest of the video, the wrapping was quite solid. And the way they wrapped it with some personal branding made it feel a lot more premium than some other brands. But I don't know if in the end, the wrapping was better. The documentation to mount this chair was quite clear, it was quite easy. It took me roughly 30 minutes to unwrap this chair and to mount this chair. And in essence, compared to the Habata, this chair only comes in one part. You have the bottom feet, then you have the lift, and then you have the whole chair. And the only thing I needed to do is put 2 screws in the back for the headrest. And that was about it. However, this time I chose not to use the wheels which came along with the chair. And I went for some softer wheels which are better suited for the wood of my floor. Well, personally, I'm not an expert in office chair wheels, but frankly, having those softer wheels, either on wood floors or even on stone floors, seems like a much better idea than having the basic wheels. But that's just me. Now inside the box, there were also a couple of QR codes, pointing to videos on how to mount and later on how to use the chair, which is quite nice. However, when trying to tune the headrest, there are some 2 little screws here and there, which in essence make you think that you can screw it, but there's even a label on here to indicate how you need to use those 2 screws, which from my point of view, it's a total failure. It works once you know how. Now personally, if you need an instruction just to know how to use that part of the headrest, that's a design failure, even though if it looks nice. But again, that's just me. Now if you want to tune the back of this chair, there are loads of options. Loads of buttons to turn around to move it up, down, left and right. And in essence, You almost need to have a rocket science degree just to find out exactly what you need. But then again, you need a couple of days to find the best position which suits you. This thing needs to be a little higher, this thing needs to be lower, I prefer it like this, like that, etc. The tissue of the chair feels quite soft and seems to be easily cleanable at first. However, I did not really need to clean it yet, so I don't really know. And let's hope I don't need to in the foreseeable future. So now let's dig in the unboxing and then the mounting. So in the end, it's quite a nice chair with loads of fine-tuning options. It still stays a chair in the pricey side of things. But then again, most quote-unquote ergonomic chairs are quite pricey. However, I still was a little bit disappointed about the chrome and how it comes out compared to what you see in the videos. But maybe I should need to clean it with special products. However, compared to the previous one, this chair seems more like a keeper. So if you guys enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell sign, or leave a comment down below.